Cool. Let's get the party started. Good to be here with everybody. I'm going to be muting a few people on here who are unmuting themselves. We hear a background noise. Guys, try to stay on mute throughout this meeting unless you want to say something. Feel free to raise your hand. Come on out. Don't be afraid. But to keep it organized, you know, we end up with a lot of the time 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 people on here. So let's keep that organized. Thank you for that. Down at the very bottom, you're going to see there's a reactions button down at the very bottom. That reactions has thumbs up, hands up, laughing face, oh my goodness, hearts, celebration, whatever you desire. Feel free to shoot those out throughout the meeting. Don't be afraid. The other thing too is there's a chat window. That chat window, I know we'll get, I know somebody will take some action and shoot a note in that chat to instigate right here, but that chat is a great spot to chat with people privately or to also chat as a group. Don't hesitate. Ask any questions you might have. The only silly question is the one unasked, as we say, so please don't hesitate there. We're going to kick the meeting off with something really important that we like to do to kick it off, which is to differentiate. And being that Alex DeBlanco is walking on a treadmill, I'm going to get him to kick this baby off. And it's because it'll be a lot of fun to watch him do it sideways, both ways, and then up and down. I knew you were on a treadmill, brother. You're in the spotlight now. Come off mute and take it away, brother. Let's do it.
All right, let's try doing this on the treadmill while everyone watches us. So I need everybody to stand up. And we're going to do 10 to the left, 10 to the right, and 10 up. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Job, brother. Thanks for kicking it off, man.
No worries, no worries. Happy to help.
Hey, by the way, while you're on, man, I'll just tell you this. I've been seeing your social media posts on Facebook, as you know, and I shared one on my wall recently. But, dude, I am so proud of you of what you're actually building over there in Western Canada. How cool is that? How you feeling about building your company, brother?
I feel amazing. I honestly can't put the words to describe how grateful I am to be in this group. Every day I see you guys liking my Facebook, and then I start following more of you guys, and I'm getting my new friend group, my new family group, where I can trust and rely on you guys for all my questions I need answered. And it's a dream come true. Even though I'm not big yet, I'm ready to get there.
Fantastic, man. You guys should check out Alex's Facebook page. It's really great. His business page is rocking it. Where can everybody find you?
All Complete Contracting.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Coach Rob's doing a good job with you?
Absolutely amazing job. He's helping me every day get better and stronger. And tomorrow we got a meeting at first thing in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I'm hopping on a call with him before I go to work. And we kill it.
So proud of you, bro. Amazing. All right, great.
Thank you.
Let's keep rolling. All right, we're going to go around the table as we do. We usually spike this off with some great news, and then we're going to move into a Q&A night tonight, question and answer. And there is one value snippet that I want to drop, and feel free, anybody else, coaches, anybody else on here, please feel free to hop in and drop some value bombs, as we say, as well. By the way, tonight, I believe that we have Coach Anthony, Coach Stephanie, they're in travels. Are you guys down in Miami right now?
Yeah. Yes, we are about to go to the airport in the morning. Super excited.
Yeah, you're coming to Anguilla, baby. AK Roundup Caribbean Retreat.
Yep.
Nice. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.
Excited. Thank you.
Can't wait. Cool. And Mr. Schuyler, Coach Schuyler's on here as well. What's happening? You ready?
I'm ready, baby.
Hope your shoes are packed.
Oh, I got them.
Cool, cool. I don't see Rob McKenzie on tonight, but if Coach Rob and do we have Coach Dom on tonight? I don't think so at this moment. But just know that we have all kinds of great people on this screen. Only silly question is the one unasked. Let's go ahead and dig right into some wins. Let's go through 3 wins on the screen, and then we'll jump into Q&As, and then we're going to drop some value bombs. Let's do this thing. who has some great news? Click that little reactions button, raise your hand if you have some good news that you'd like to share with the community. There's a lot of great takeaways, by the way, as well, when people do come on here and start sharing their wins. So that's an important thing. Alex, let's take you back on, man. Share the win. Let's go.
So it's a little one that's just starting to bloom right now. I'm in a little area called Stony Plain, and there's a county that's around me. And what they want, they're looking at my business right now, and they're looking at me as being a prospect to crack seal all the walking trails in another town away from me. So it's close to 20 kilometers long so far, and then there's a couple more throughout the area. And then I just got off work today, and I just fit in a quick workout. I'm going to meet with the guy right now for his parking lot, and there's 66 lines so far. I'm going to see if I can get seal coating and crack fill as well tonight.
Let's go, man. It looks like you're mastering your craft over there, and the chances of you actually going to close that deal. I mean, look at that smile. Look at that focus, right? Like, go get that deal, man. Bring it home. And you
Absolutely.
will become the pavement asset management company for life. That's the mission, right?
I can't wait. Thank you.
Let us know how it goes.
Absolutely.
Chad, keeping what's happening, brother. Come off mute. Let's do this. What's the good news? Tell us.
Well, I've been messing around with the snow removal, the snow shoveling, and I got my first customer today for doing some snow shoveling.
Oh, nice
That's
stuff, man.
That's a service we started this winter for just to see what happens here to residential and seniors and see what happens. So far, I got one customer. So
You know, when I used to run my company up in Canada, during the winter, we would go and do some shoveling of snow in our first couple of years. We would do that, and we would do a lot of the gutter cleaning as well in the fall as we start to approach winter. And we were able to go out and make $300 a day type of thing doing that kind of work. But what I saw it as in my first couple of years, I changed my mindset from making the $300 a day as though I was actually getting paid to advertise how I was going to make real money by doing the pavement maintenance the next season. So as you're out shoveling, just know that you're getting paid to actually close those deals down the road. And so establishing that trust while you're doing that and presenting your pavement asset management solutions is a real key thing. Don't ever not be selling what it is that you have down the road. You know what I mean?
well, the whole kicker of it all was I asked her. I said, "Is it a gravel or asphalt laneway?" She goes, "It's asphalt." And I said, "Well, we're an asphalt sealing company. We're an asphalt pavement management company that we seal driveways." And she says, "Well, my driveway needs to be done, so I'll get you to do it in the spring after the winter." So it's a win-win.
Let's go, Chad. Proud of you, bro. Keep at it, man.
Yep.
Year two coming. Year two coming. Let's go.
I know.
All right, let's go, Nick. Come on. What's happening, brother? What's your win?
Hang on. You hear me?
We can hear it. Yes, we can. Go for it. Shoot.
Perfect. So, yeah. So Evan's down in Florida. He's been down there for 2 weeks now. And he's actually been staying with our foreman, George, down there. So today he just bought a giant camper to live in for the wintertime. So I'll be down there within the next 2 weeks. So that's why he's not on tonight. He's setting that bad boy up. And hopefully we can get the ball rolling here pretty soon.
Let's go, guys. Let's go. I hope that you guys have connected with Dom. I think that I was supposed to actually follow up on that. I may have not done that. John, can you do me say?
I was gonna say, I talked to Evan about talking to Dom. That was probably a week and a half ago, but I just talked to him again earlier before this, but it was a quick combo. So I'll touch base with him after.
Get something on the calendar where all of us can jam in. I've got some really good ideas that I think could be harmonious for you guys. Make some good money together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool, Nick. Thanks for popping on, and tell Evan we're stoked. I think we lost you, brother. Can you guys hear me safe and sound right now? You hear me well? Cool. Awesome. All right. Any other wins that we want to share, guys? All right. Well, let's carve into it. Q&A time. Q&A time. So why don't you guys go ahead and get your questions put together. I want you to take a little time to get your questions put together, get your notepad, and let's make sure that we're writing down questions that are really, really important to you. It can be anything in the world, right? Like any kind of question. And by the way, if you have questions for me or any of the coaches or whatever, I'll just tell you this straight out. We're open books. Like, we do not hold back on answering. You can ask me anything. And when I mean anything, I mean anything. Well, up to a certain point, I guess, but like, you get my drift, anything. And so let's get some questions written down. You know, don't hesitate. And I know that we have some questions in the chat window as well. But before we do that, I think that Tony has a win that he wants to share. Is that right, Tony?
I mean, it's more of a question. I was ready to get the question done, but I mean, yeah, we're getting into plowing. And with the question, let's roll. So right now we're planning the next season. Our season typically starts around May 1st, right? So that's when everyone's rocking and rolling, full days is when May 1st. What is your guys' typical, when you're reaching out to your customer base, what is your time frames looking like? When are you guys reaching out? Because last year we did a mailing campaign with the post office. We did it way too early, blew it. I mean, we got a few leads, but we should have done it later in the season. So I'm just kind of seeing what kind of time frames were you guys doing for these advertisements in the spring?
What is a few leads off of your mailing campaign?
So it's like maybe we're getting 1% return, and then when throughout the season we'll start to get like 2, 3, 4% return on calls.
So
Like,
statistically on a mail campaign, 1 to 2% is a good return. I do a lot of direct mail. It works really well in my area. So that's why I hopped on right away. So if you're hitting 3 or 4 in the season, that's amazing, right? You're above average. So, you know, don't feel like you're not actually hitting numbers when you're hitting those type of things. There's a great conversion rates, like lead rates, right? And then it's what do those convert out of that 1%. But if you're still locking things in now, or you're making sure you're capitalizing, getting those in, like really there's no wrong time to get that, right? Like, yes, it's like saying, hey, I'll give you 10 jobs during the season, or I'll give you 5 jobs a month to the season, plus I'll give you 10 jobs during the season. You'd probably take both, right? Yeah. So there is no wrong time, and like, you know, maybe different forms or some different aspects, but the more you're in front of your customers and the more that you're constantly being reminded or reminding them of what's going on, you know, make sure you stay on that. And really, at this time of year is great to focus on the corporate clients. I'm sure, you know, Anthony, Judd, all these guys, like decision-making is happening now. If you're looking for large parking lots, they are trying to get 2024 budget. So to be in front of them now and understanding that they are getting those budgetary things in place now for 2024, now is the time to be in front of those decision makers for commercial lots.
Are you giving them ballpark prices right now, or are you just trying to get in front of them, like for commercial? What is your strategy?
I know well enough, like I'll accommodate for a 5 to 10% increase, and I will price now. Granted, go ahead.
You can miss on the crack fills, is what I'm saying, and like just the little stuff, and you're like, oh, the sealer is actually gonna be only spread 55 feet per gallon and not 65 what we thought, so we underbid it. You know, that's just what I worry about.
So as long as you're detailing this, Anthony, I think we went back and forth on this a little bit with the project and feet per gallon. As long as you put in there that you are applying, my rule of thumb is 22 gallons per 1,000 square. That is what I apply at. And I make sure that is labeled in my line items. So as that's happening, and if the pavement's more rough or whatever it is, you can come back and say, hey, this is using more material. I personally struggled with that, you know, concept for a while. Me and Anthony, you know, we're back and forth on this, but like, it's one of those things where if you get through it, you got to do it. Right. So that'll allow you to price now. and still continue to land jobs and that type of thing, as long as your numbers are dialed in enough and you're detailed enough on handing out your assessments.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, have you gotten into jobs where the cracks are actually really big and then you've underbid it? Does that happen often, or before you even look at it? So you're bidding these without even looking at it? Like,
no, I mean, typically I'm walking these, right? Like if I'm seeing them, I'm walking them, and I'm making sure I have all my numbers and measurements. Granted, like I'm measuring square footage probably 98% of the time via satellite, but I'm still walking the project. And if it's a larger crack, of course I charge more for that. Or what I do is I just add a general rule of thumb. You can add 10 to 15% on top. And especially now, if I'm quoting a parking lot now that is cracked, I'm adding probably 15% on top because of the freeze thaw cycle that's going to happen over these next couple months, where those cracks are probably almost guaranteed to expand. So if we're not sealing them up now, I'm already budgeting in another 15% on my crack fill for next year. Most of those guys aren't going to go out and measure those parking lots and how many feet cracks are there. And if they do, like, you're just going to explain to them that, hey, we have a 15% increase as, we did this now. These cracks are prone to grow over the next, 3-4 months. So that's why that's in there, as it's going to let me provide a full service for you. And I'm not going to come to you and ask for more money at that time of service. And you're going to get what you asked for.
Yep. So you're just covering all your all your squares. It needs to be.
And there's another one that you can kind of cover yourself with too, and not leave yourself open for too much exposure, is tie your price to a quantity of material and say this covers up to 2 pallets of crack filler. Anything above 2 pallets is billed out at this much per pound or this much per pallet. And then you sell them on the fact that you're not going to skimp on the materials, and then that way you show that you have quantified what the job cost, not only in dollar amounts to them, but what it costs on the material side for yourself. And you cannot back yourself in a corner in the springtime. But definitely you're going to want to, we go with a 5 to 10% range on what the crack fill measures out to now. And we'll just expand that out for next year and put that as an anticipatory cost.
Yep. Okay. And you guys are probably touch basis on these commercial leads, right? Like you're calling, you're emailing, you're doing everything just on a routine basis, most likely, right? You're not just doing one thing,
You're saying once you're in front of the decision maker, or when you're prospecting, or what?
Prospecting.
Yeah, I mean, be a ninja, right? Like that's the golden rule. The better and more frequent you can be in front of that person or that corporation, the more likely your chance is going to be to convert them. So if you're following them on LinkedIn, if you're following them on Facebook, if you're sending a mail, if you're dropping emails, if you're calling the office, like now all of a sudden your social proof becomes significantly higher as long as you're on top of all those things and your marketing is presentable and you're posting video, you're posting good content, then it becomes a lot higher of a conversion rate.
Of course, yeah, website, internet presence.
Yep.
Okay, and you're just majority just cold calling, like you're calling them and saying, hey, local asphalt specialist going to this field and just trying to get to that decision maker.
Whoa, Tony. Oh man, did you just say cold call?
Of course,
Tony. There's three layers of prospecting. What are the 3 layers of prospecting, Tony?
The friends circle, right? The friends personal circle, friends of family, right? And then friends of their friends, right? And then cold calling.
Right? He's paying attention.
Paying attention. I like that, brother. People that you know, people that your people know, and cold call, right? And so I'm just busting your chops right now because I want other people to hear that part of it. But the point is that when you do any kind of outreach, whatever it is, you have to make sure you take a very tactical approach to it. So I'm going to ask you, Tony, When you're doing an outreach right now for a commercial client list, are you going after one property or are you going after an account that has multiple properties attached to it? What is it that you're going to be more interested in? One property, one decision maker? Or are you looking for a decision maker for multiple properties?
Just one decision maker for multiple properties, of course.
Okay, perfect. So if that happens to be a storage facility that has, 4 different storage locations in a radius of 200 miles.
Mhm.
The outreach that you're going to do to them has to be very, very strategic. For people that hunt on here, there's a certain amount of things that you have to do to prepare before you go hunting. You just don't run out in the woods in your underwear, right? Just hollering like, hey, everybody. I'm not saying that you do that, Tony. I'm just saying we don't generally just shoot from the hip. And so what we need to think about is how are we strategically setting up to make whatever we do successful? Because if you're not mastering your art, then you're just another one of the gazelles that are out in the field. Master your art and sharpen your spears. So if we're going after storage facilities, your social media should be buzzing with storage facility information during the period that you're going out to hunt them. You should also make sure that your YouTube videos are up and running as well and optimized for storage facilities tagged to the local areas, because the SERP settings attached to YouTube spit to Google, and all of a sudden you're going to end up on Google for storage facility, asphalt maintenance, repair, whatever you optimized your video for. And there's a program called TubeBuddy. Everybody write it down, TubeBuddy, that will allow you to optimize your YouTube videos by them telling you exactly what you need to do. It's like a cheat code. I'm giving a cheat code to a video game. TubeBuddy.
Is it Y or IE?
Y.
Yeah.
And so that's a cheat code, guys. And it's what we use on our channel. It's fantastic. People use it, win. And so you want to build this campaign structure out for yourself, Tony. And then what you're going to do is that cold call is no longer going to be, in quotes, that uncomfortable cold call, because you've already set yourself up for the win, because you're really tactically approaching closing an account that's going to generate $100,000 a year for you, or every couple of years. You follow what I mean? Like, that's what we need to be doing. Now, if you're doing it with churches, you would do it with churches. If you're doing it with car dealerships, you would do it with car dealerships. Would you go shoot a selfie video like Carlos is saying on a 260,000 square foot lot that is not yours? I probably wouldn't go and do that and tell somebody that I did that lot. That would be extremely dishonest, and karma's a bitch. So I would say that you're much better off to go to a car dealership and get some kind of work under your belt where you can say that I'm working with this car dealership on their pavement asset management solutions, and get a little video recorded of you working on that parking lot, doing some crack sealing or repairing a pothole. Even if you have to go repair the pothole for free just to show them the level of quality of work, call it an advertising expense. Get on the parking lot, get the collateral you need, then go hunt all the other car dealerships. If you do a Ford, you're going to go close a Subaru as well. Look at him. He's fishing in the back already. He's already bringing in the car dealerships. I love that. Right, Tony? You're already bringing them in. So like that, but that team, what I'm speaking about right now, I'm just telling you that a lot of the time we don't get hyper focused on what it is that we need to execute on with precision. So I ask you, are we more likely to convert these potential leads into customers, these prospects? Are we more likely to convert them into customers if we take a really laser focused targeted approach to it? Are we more likely to close that deal? Yes or no?
Of course. I'd like to add.
Yeah, go ahead.
We've realized how powerful a website is. We've recently gotten a website a few months back, and we're into plowing now because we're trying to get full year maintenance. And our customers have said, like, we love your video on your website and this and that, and we're there for plowing. So it worked on them, and we've earned their business because of the website and its seal coating. And so, yeah, definitely can attest to I need to spend more time and efforts towards the internet presence, because we're realizing that everyone looks at it, so.
Well, I mean, let's just do a survey. Watch this. I'm going to remove from Spotlight here. I'm going to remove from Spotlight. Let's just do a survey with hands up, guys. And you can physically just raise your hands. Let's do the Let's do the survey. Who here has seen Asphalt Kingdom on more than one digital channel? Raise your hand. Who here knows about the round table? Well, you're all on it, right? So everybody raise your hand, otherwise you're... Okay, cool. Who here knows that there's a Tampa Bay January 22nd AK Roundup live session? Who here knows that? Who here has seen that on Instagram? Who here has seen that on Facebook? Who here has heard it on the roundtable? My point here is, everyone, is that we have to be omni-channel present with whatever it is that we're doing. Whether it is our business from a brand awareness perspective for lead generation and social proof, or whether we're doing it strategically related to a campaign that we're hyper-focusing on. If you really believe in a potential client target that's going to have multi-locations that could be a $500,000 account, you cannot just be another gazelle out in the field. You have to be a lion. You have to. And you have to go at it with a tactical approach. Does that make sense? So Tony, just to go back on it, what I would be doing this winter, if I were you, I'd create a prospect list, and you can do that by just going to a Google sheet and literally creating people that you know in one tab, people that your people know in another tab, and then cold call in your third tab. Just get that put together manually and just start that basis. But you need to get your audience put together as to who you're approaching, and then based upon the one that you circle that you're going to go after, or the 3 or 10 that you're circling, because that's $1 million worth of business that you're going to close there. Yeah. Then you can start to create the campaigns that are going to flow in unison with the way that you go out from an outreach perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It's game plan. Don't wing it, man. Yeah. Okay. This has been great. I appreciate that, Judd. I want to give the spotlight to someone else.
Victor, let's go.
One
Victor.
last question, but there's yeah.
So I'm going to try to stay on topic here. I was talking to Matthias last week, and I said, Matthias, I'm getting scared. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, I'm going on these slots, and I got a name for them. They're Franken lots. I look at them, and I don't know, how would I repair this? There's so much damage. At what point do you know that a parking lot's beyond repair? I mean, there's so many cracks. It's almost classifying as alligator cracks. But they're not. They're too far apart at the same time. Is there a guide or anything that we can, anything out there that tells us how far apart cracks should be? How big can a pothole be? For example, I just put in my first quote, my first proposal, $6,600. Not too much of pothole repairs. It's basically a long strip that can be add some nails to it, and I believe I can repair it. But at what point do you say no? That's not repairable for someone who is new in the industry?
I'm not going to answer this one, guys, because I'm really interested in hearing everybody's perspective on this. But anybody have a good answer for Victor?
Yeah. So, Victor, how are you planning to fix the pothole? What method?
Well, as soon as the contract was signed, I was going to order the I forgot the model number, the $9,000 machine, and schedule it out.
Is it infrared? Is it infrared, or are you doing like a hot asphalt patch, like a saw cut or a key cut?
Infrared with millings and rejuvenating it.
The only way you couldn't do this is if the foundation, the sub base is compromised. Yeah. So if it is there, if it's there, you can save it. If it's not there and you can see the rocks and the dirt, it needs to be cut out, dug out.
There's no rock, no dirt. You can see that a lot of it has some of it has been eroded away because it's a used tire repair place, and the entrance is at an angle, so everything just rolls towards the street. You can see some of the material is gone, but the base is still there.
Okay, then you're fine. One thing I'd recommend, if it's a pretty decent square footage job, Get a hot
600,
box.
600
Get a
square
hot-
feet.
Get a hot box or something to heat up the millings. I recommend that. That saves your time. It saves so much time. Just 100%. That's the only thing I'd recommend with bigger jobs.
That actually makes more sense, and it'd be cheaper than investing the $10,000 up front. Because I can get that up front without no problem. The second part
I would
is
say get a hot box from Judd and a little infrared. You'll be perfectly fine.
there aren't any little infrared anywhere. I've checked. The little
Coming
one.
s-
I mean,
coming
there's
s-
a
coming
$40,000 ones, but not from Judd.
Coming soon.
Get on it,
Coming
Judd.
soon. Coming
Well,
soon. Coming
yeah,
soon. We
you can-
sold out, man. We sold 300 of them, guys. We literally had to go back to the manufacturing lines and adjust some of the design because we want to make them modular so that they can connect. You can literally connect 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're like mega blocks. So there's going to be some pretty cool stuff there's some cool stuff coming. But Victor, just to answer, and I know we've got some coaches on screen, I am going to jump in on this one. Brother,
You are, or
you
you're
know
not?
it. I said I am going to jump in on this one. I am.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this. If you're unsure of whether or not you should repave that thing or you should repair it, you should probably repave it.
If it scares you, don't touch it.
Anthony?
So I was going to say, comparatively to the cost of replacement, if you can start to factor what that is and then offer that as guidance, you, one, aren't the decision maker on the parking lot, so you don't want to assume too much. And two, you want to provide them with as much information as possible because you're a consultant for them, right, in the industry. So become a source of information, let them know, hey, the cost to replace this parking lot is this much because I know the square footage. It's going to be in this area. And I think I could come in and I could do these rehabilitation repairs that will get you X amount of years of life in that area. So the choice is yours. You can spend a little and save it a little bit and extend its life, or you can rehabilitate the entire thing by the cost of replacement, but that's going to be in this area of cost. And by giving them that guidance, you're allowing them to do it. If you don't think you should, and what Tony's saying holds a lot of value. If the parking lot is flat, but there's a few holes in it, and you can manage that square footage, the size of those repairs, then good. But if that thing's all wavy and there's a bunch of elevation and de-elevation and the asphalt's being shoved around because it does have significant sub-base issues, then that's something that needs a total rehabilitation, right? So looking at the overall condition of it, if it has a lot of isolated damage in one area, like near the dumpsters, because an 80,000-pound truck drives through there every week and hydraulically lifts the container up and dumps it into itself, like those areas exhaust and fatigue the fastest. So just because it has significant damage doesn't mean the entire thing needs to be replaced, but there may be a more extensive repair that's needed than what you can offer with a simple infrared process. Does that make sense?
Yes. One last question. For the hot box, what is it? Are you just warming up regular meals, or is it typically cold patch that is reheated? Can cold patch be heated up?
Cold patch can be warmed up, but you're not going to heat it up like super, super hot, but you can make it more workable. But you don't want to overheat cold patch. Millings you can put in there and heat up, and then what it's really meant for is to install hot asphalt in from a silo, keep it warm as a transporting mechanism or a transporter to a job site, and put that hot mix asphalt out.
So Victor, the 2-ton hot boxes that we have like 4 in stock right now. Those are 2-ton, 4,000 pounds. They've got an inner skin and an outer skin. It's insulated by air with the heat from the torches that insulate the box. The inner skin have slanted sidewalls on the inside that brings it to the chute. And so when you spray the inner part of your box and your asphalt drops in, it will gravity feed towards the chute. As you open up your latch, you're going to you're going to have asphalt that's going to be pouring into a wheelbarrow or into the spot that you desire. I strongly recommend one of the double wheelbarrows when you're operating. It will be just a lot more sturdy, a lot more safe for you than a single wheel. And just to be clear, and I know that other people on here will probably agree, off 2 tons of asphalt, when you do patching work, it's very easy to make $5,000 off 2 tons. Like, just to be clear. And do you know what the 2 tons costs you in material, Victor? Take a guess. Take a guess.
$500?
No.
200.
What are you paying per ton, Anthony, in Michigan?
89 bucks.
A ton?
Yes, sir.
No. Skylar, what are you paying?
Exact same. We just did we're doing this coming week 1 ton job, $3,200 bucks. Potholes.
Yeah, it's pothole hunting season, everybody. Get out there. You know, those potholes that you're hunting right now, great cash flow, but it also, like, this isn't some movie somewhere with actors, right? This is the real deal. So get out there and you get those potholes repaired, but it's also such a tremendous door to open because you're solving pain points and you're moving in a direction of becoming their payment asset management company for life. So Victor, you've got stuff right at your fingertips, ready to roll on. Everybody on here actually does. I had a meeting today with somebody who came to me on social media on Facebook, and they were like, I'm stuck, man. You posted that Kermit. Did you see the Kermit photo, the meme that's staring out the window? Only wishing I had an infrared unit to be able to go out there and do pothole repair, make money this winter, something like that. But it's the same thing, like Hotbox. The Hotbox is such a great addition to any business, everyone. It's a massive addition, great monetization vertical. It's just needed if you're gonna do this thing, and you can put it on a flatbed or on a trailer, but just make sure that you have it elevated on the trailer so you can get your wheelbarrow underneath the chute, because that's no fun if you have to pick up piles of asphalt on the ground. Yeah.
Hey Judd, this is Alex. Can you guys hear me?
Mr. Coring, we hear you loud and clear. I know you're driving, so take it away. What do you got, brother?
Yeah, I just wanted to add something to the original question was, how do you know when, what to do and when? And I just want to throw out that the hammer and the nail scenario, and you got to be careful of it. If you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. There's a lot of companies that all they do is seal coat and crack fill, and they'll go out and they'll bid out a project, seal coat and crack fill, no matter what, because that's all they do. And sometimes that's not the right thing. I just had a job that we won. It was a lot of raveling, and another contractor came in and said he was going to gator patch everything. We almost lost the contract, and because it was a cheap solution. The facilities manager of the property came back to me and said, hey, this guy is suggesting gator patch. I said, go ahead and let him try it. So the guy came out, laid down 100 square feet or something like that of gator patch, 10 by 10. And within 2 days, it had failed. Cars drove through it, picked up tire marks. It was peeling out. They didn't clean out all of the pits in the asphalt. We ended up winning the contract because we became that trusted partner. I made some similar mistakes early in the days where I was trying to offer solutions that weren't really the right thing for repairing, extensive alligator cracking and whatnot. Just be careful of what you're offering somebody. You want to be that trusted partner and, the expert in the industry, right? So you have to be able to assess the problem with the pavement asset and offer the right solution for them, and not just do something or offer something because it's what you do. If it needs something that you don't do, go out and find, a subcontractor or something to do the work. You don't have to lose the job, but you want to bid things out correctly that are the right solution for that parking lot. So I don't know if anyone's run into that as well, but just be careful of the hammer and the nail scenario.
I think it's a great story, great analogy too. What I would say also that's very, very important is that the closer framework that we actually teach, the first letter in the closer framework acronym, closer is an acronym. The first letter is clarify why somebody's there or clarify why you're there. If you're not asking them a ton of open-ended questions to really understand who they are and the details about what they desire, what they want, and what their past pains are, then you're kind of stuck in selling them a vacation that might not be the right fit. So Alex, I couldn't agree more. So in the scenario that somebody is looking for a quick fix on their parking lot, very limited budget, and they're flipping their property and they just want it to look good for photos and videos, for example, and they want to do a quick flip, Alex, what would you do? Would you recommend that they pave, or would you recommend that they do a quick fix, like a quick seal on it just to spice up the property quickly? What would you do, Alex?
That's a really good question. I think it's kind of tough. I take the standpoint where I don't offer something unless it's something that I'm going to stand behind and warranty. I had a client reach out, went and did an estimate, and I think I reached out to you about this. They had a concrete parking lot, and they just wanted it to look nice. I think they had some kind of inspections or something. They wanted it seal coated, and it was just shot to hell, and it was cracks everywhere, but it was all concrete. And they said, well, I just want you to seal coat it. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to seal coat it for you. I turned down the job because I knew that it was going to delaminate, come apart, look like crap. Even though they were just asking for a quick fix, I wasn't going to stand behind the work, and I knew it wasn't the right thing to do. So that was one scenario that happened, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. It really just depends. I think I'd have to look at the project, but I typically don't offer something that I'm not going to warranty.
I think it's a great answer, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Your work is also your business card, right? Like when you leave your work, just because that property owner might want it to look good for a short period of time, other people driving by know that your company did that job, like even after that. So if it starts to delaminate and look like crap, they're going to know that you did that. And that's just kind of, could be held against your business from getting other jobs. So.
Thank you. Awesome stuff. Carlos, what's up, man?
Okay, so I guess the question that I put on there, I guess I worded that wrong. So like I work for a asphalt seal coat company now that I actually take pictures and record myself on the jobs or whatever. I was wondering, can I use those videos even though it's not like technically my job nor or whatever? And the second question I had was, how would I do a proposal roughly for like 3 to 5 year proposals with someone who has roughly a project that's 260 square foot to get, a lifetime customer clientele? Because this guy's got like 4 or 7 properties, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to like get him in with that one property to get the other ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So on the first question, I would say that you can shoot whatever you want on anybody's property as long as you have the authority to be, or
No. Like I'm working now. Like the company I work for, we're paving that parking lot. That makes sense.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Just saying, like, can I use that to like build my online presence or no?
Well, I guess the question is, and I was going there. So my question to you is, the company that you're working with, would they be okay with you doing that?
Now I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? You cannot represent yourself as being somebody that did that project online, but it was and it was a different company. You'll get slaughtered, man.
Yeah.
You got to just, I would say if you want to get some content for yourself, my recommendation would be to actually ask the company, but it sounds like that might be a challenge in this scenario. But I would potentially go on to a project that has been done in the past that you're not representing like you did it, but you're speaking about, hey, I'm Carlos, own a pavement asset management company committed to keeping parking lots safe, long lasting, and looking great. Love the opportunity to be able to work with you. You don't have to say, hey, I did this parking lot. You know what I mean? Like, just do it very general to create some kind of content. Do you pave, or you do asphalt maintenance or seal coating?
Well, for the company right now, we do it all. So I seal coat, crack fill, pave, skin patch.
You starting your own company?
Yes, sir.
When are you starting it? What date?
I'm shooting for March 31st.
March 31st is the date. You put that on the wall somewhere. You wrote it with some Sharpie markers on the
Yeah.
wall on a big white wall.
Yes, sir. Dormax Construction paving the way forward.
Congratulations, man. I'm super stoked for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. Congrats, man. Yeah, that's what I would do, brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. And then the 5-year plan, you should reach out to one of our people at Asphalt Kingdom and ask for the 10-year budget plan. We have the template that's already drafted for you.
Oh, okay.
So reach out to us at Asphalt Kingdom, give us a call or shoot us an email. Reach out to us on social media, however, and we'll definitely be able to connect you with the 10-year budget plan template that will help you to set up a budget for the client that you're working with so that they have an understanding of what's coming down the road. That's something that you can work on for sure.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Awesome. Best of luck to you, man. And thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
All right, let's go. Anybody else? Q&As. We're clocking down here, down to the last 10 minutes or so. What else do we have going on? Come on. Tony, let's go.
All right. One last one. I sent it in the chat. I just wanted to bounce this idea off of you guys. But this will be our 3rd year in spring, and we cannot do another year without a secretary helping us out, taking calls and, scheduling and just all the little stuff, tying things together. Who could I speak to about that, or who could I watch? Maybe you guys have any recommendations on to learn on how to hire. We don't want the cheapest employee. We want to hire someone great, a grade A player. So how do you guys go about that?
Well, I have good news for you, Tony. AK is starting the complete AK Pro Assistant program where we're going to have VAs that are literally going to be getting your social media messages in for you, your email messages, taking marketing qualified leads, doing the profiling and qualifying, getting them to a sales qualified lead, going into AK Dash and drafting proposals for you so you can actually send them voice notes, but they become your VA and essentially will do all of your front end administrative and legwork, and they will be able to create this stuff in draft format so that when you get home at the end of the day or you're out riding and you want to check in on AK Dash, you'll be able to actually just review what they've done for you and submit it to the client. So the goal is to have you doing more things that you're really great at so that ultimately you can grow your business. This is a huge request. You see, here's the challenge in our industry, team, and this is not just our industry, it's all over the place. People in our industry generally don't even answer their phone.
When you got the blower going, it's tough.
No shit. When you have the crack sealing machine, it's tough. When you're giving a quote out, it's tough. When you're dealing with a customer service issue, it's tough. When you're dealing with a truck or something and a piece of equipment, it's tough. When you're training your crews, it's tough. When you're working on things that are different than answering the phone, it's tough. But what if you could answer the phone 95% of the time? What would that look like for you at the end of the year?
A lot of spam calls. Right? A lot of spam calls. I was just playing with you.
Who's that?
Oh, it's Mike. I wanted to add some levity.
Let's go, Mike. Yeah, man. It's true.
It's true.
But Judd, Judd, when are you talking? This is gonna happen like soon, or is this what's going on, man? Or are you gonna charge like 250,000 for this? Well, no, no.
For
That
you,
sounds
Tony,
insane. Sounds insane.
for you, Tony, we'll do it for 125,000 for you, brother, for
I
you.
I appreciate that. The
I heard
discount.
actually,
50% off.
I'm gonna answer your phone for North Star. That's what I'm doing. I'm coming to answer your phone. I'm coming to actually do your proposals for you, brother. Stay tuned. Now, listen, here's the bottom line. We are going to have the VA program that will launch in 2024. Right now, we're in massive launch of AK Dash. We've gone through the beta. A lot of people have onboarded on AK Dash. We're on the screen already, but AK Dash is coming strong rolling into 2024. A complete proposal system, task environment, automation, your goal setting so you know where you are on your goal trajectory as you're going out there to win. You guys have heard my videos. We talk about it often in person at our roundups. If you set a revenue goal, you need to work backwards from that to set up what you need as a plan to achieve it. And so we're able to actually have that set on our dashboard so that we have the optics. And so if we think about getting into an airplane and flying an airplane, it's not that easy to fly an airplane if you don't know how to feel an airplane. Right? If you have no gauges and you have no dash to be able to look at, it's very, very hard to fly an airplane. And so you want to make sure to have the right things for that. So bottom line is AK Dash is here. Amy's going to kill me because I'm saying it's here, but it's right here. And then the VA program is going to be 2024. Stay tuned for it. It's probably going to be in the month of February, beginning of February, Tony, realistically. So if you have interest in having a VA that's going to join you, the rate will be about $3,500 a month will be the rate for a full-time VA that will be dedicated to your company. And that person will be the one answering your phone, processing leads. They're trained by me, and they are drafting all of your proposals in AK Dash and holding you tight to making sure that you're closing those deals. And so the other thing that I will say too is this: a VA is very different than a coach. A VA is somebody that is doing the work with you. They are one of your people, right? They're an AK person, but with you, we're a partnership. From a coach perspective, the coach will be in depth inside of AK Dash with you, and you'll be getting held accountable. If you want to build $1 million business, like I'm just going to tell you guys, like I just shared this screenshot, and I was told actually that I could share this. I don't know if Johnny's on. Johnny Little from Harbor Seal Coating out of Wilmington, North Carolina. I know some of you have met him, but I'll just tell you this. This is what coaching does. He says
I was about to say he's big company. He's doing it out there.
Well, Harbor Seal Coating started 6 months ago, and they knew nothing about asphalt. They had never touched asphalt 6 months ago. Okay. And now they're big because they've been coached and guided through the process of scaling their business rapidly, because that's what we committed to. It's a different tier, not another Gazelle. He says to me today, because he ordered another pallet of FSA because they're flying right now. They're busier than they have been, and they're going into the cooler time of the year. FSA just ordered a pallet. He says, we have been effing crushing it, by the way. It's funny how all of a sudden 15K jobs become our normal average jobs, and it's just nonstop. I wrote, proud of you guys. What do you have in sales since you started this summer, since we started coaching? And what does your quote pipeline look like? Our quote pipeline is over $2 million. I have to check on actuals. We're waiting on another $70,000 check to hit the bank, and we have 5 weeks booked out, and it's effing winter time. I'm like, you guys crossing the 500,000 in the next 2 months? They said, yes, already done. So proud of you guys. Thanks, brother. Done deal. Like we just processed the order for FSA. But my point here is that, Tony, there is, as you build and grow your business, I'm going to tell you this. Watch this, watch this, watch this. What was your revenue this year, Tony, in 2023?
I couldn't give you exacts. That's one thing. We're lacking on that.
And having a coach and having AK Dash would provide you with the insight of knowing what your revenue was, not just your revenue. You would understand what your EBITDA is. EBITDA. When we look at the EBITDA, we're actually talking about what the earnings before interest, taxes, right? And so when we talk about this actual value of your company, what if I came to you right now, Tony, and I said, I want to buy your company? What would you tell me?
I mean, we're still new with the organization and what we need to improve on at the current state. I mean, we were offered 50,000 last year, but more than that for sure. I would be happy with.
But imagine this, brother. Imagine if you actually knew the value of your company. Like, what if you actually knew what if you actually knew what your company was worth and there was no emotion? And this is a great conversation for everyone here. Like, the value of your company should not be emotional. Your value of your company is based upon what your EBITDA is, and then what your intellectual property looks like, and how your processes are tuned, and where your customers are stored, and the way that you have your automations in place. Your company is going to have a multiplier that's way more sexy when you have the right things in place to be able to make it really valuable.
Yeah.
And does that make sense to everybody? Raise your hand if that makes sense, honestly. So in order to do that, it's not easy doing that alone unless you have a finance background and you understand what it's like to go through valuations, or you've sold a company in the past. It's not easy to know all that stuff by magic. Scott, you sold a company, you know what I'm talking about, man. Valuations, like, to give you an idea, to go through a valuation, it'll cost you $20,000 just to go through valuations.
Yeah, and then the purchase of this company too. So yeah, sold and bought. Yeah, so and then you don't take typically one opinion, you go 3 opinions, because on a 7-figure acquisition, like, you're not going off the Joe Schmo down the street. Like, you're understanding fully what that is.
So Tony, having a virtual assistant is one piece of this, which is not a future thing. It's more in keeping things organized and answered right now. It's a very, very present position that will allow you to focus in on the things that you need to in order to grow your business. But having a coach that is able to actually guide you is going to be one of the, I've said this to you before, it's going to be one of the best investments that you'll ever make, because you'll be held accountable to doing the things to growing and developing your company into something that's ginormous. Now, listen, if you do $500,000 in revenue with your business, just to be clear, everybody, and you walk away with $200,000 on your bottom line, and you're sitting there at $200,000 in EBITDA, you have a 2 or 3 times multiplier, 3 if you're lucky, as an average asphalt maintenance company that has clean books. So 200,000 times 3, if you're lucky, is $600,000. That's what your company's worth. So if you do $500,000 in business, you should have a $600,000 company after year 1 if things are organized and done properly. So I ask you, is $600,000 worth it to you to invest into a coach that might cost you $28,000 a year?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm paying for that.
Like,
I'm paying for that, Judd. It's going to be worth it. You know, I'm in day 1 right now. I'm in week 2, starting week 3, and Rob's been pushing me, challenging me. You know, me and the team, and we're trying to get to our first sale. So he's been helping. We appreciate it.
Mike, I'm stoked for you, man. And I'll tell you this too, Mike, and like everybody on here, listen to this. What if you didn't do $500,000 in that year? What if you did $1 million in revenue? And what if your bottom line was sitting at $350,000 times the 3?
Well, I'll cry all the way to the bank.
Now you've got $1 million.
I'll cry all the way to the bank, my friend.
Right, you would. And you'd have $1 million company, right? You'd have $1 million, like literally 350 times your 3. You're already over $1 million bucks. But here's the kicker, everyone. I've given you this formula last time. V equals R over P. V equals risk over predictive revenue. I've said it to you guys. Some of you I've spoken with in the past. Write that formula down and follow through with it, because I'm telling you right now, that's a company that has predictive revenue on the forward, because you've been that lighthouse and laid out the 10-year budget plans, and you've set up a model that allows you to do that, and you've kept low risk because you haven't gone and hired salespeople for $5,000 or $8,000 a month, but instead you did a draw against commission structure that's completely low risk. If you do that kind of stuff, guess what happens to your multiplier? from a 2 or 3. Goes up.
Mm-hmm. A lot.
So I ask you what your company is doing today and what it's going to be doing going into 2024. That's why for anybody that has the surplus cash right now, rather than it burning a hole in the bank, which is frankly just costing you money today, the banks aren't doing you any favors, trust me, invest into yourself and become a master at your craft with people who have already mastered their craft so that you guys can be all more successful. Everybody's very, very shy in investing into coaching. I'm telling you right now, because I know we have a coaching program and people come in for acceleration calls and they disappear. I'm going to be straight with you guys. The people that disappear will go back to the hamster wheel. Tony, I'm not going to call you out on this, but I'm going to say this, Tony. If you don't invest into coaching after this tonight, after what I'm speaking about tonight, and you don't even know what your bottom line is, shame on you, brother. And if you don't invest into coaching, and if you don't invest into coaching with us, do it somewhere else or hire somebody, a chartered accountant, do something with somebody who knows what they're talking about so that you can have $1 million value company by 2024 as you roll into December. Trust me, get it done.
That's what I wanted to say, Judd. I would like to speak with you privately sometime, and it's just I know I could do more than that with you with you next, beside me. It's just it's tight right now, and we've invested into the plowing, but we'll talk. I know that it's about time that this needs to happen, and I know what it would do to the business. This is not a sales pitch to the new people. If you guys been here, you'd know Judd is the man. He never ceases to amaze me. But yeah, please, can we talk later this week about it?
Tony, I am completely stacked on the retreat for the next week, starting tomorrow with people that are flying down and coming down for the event. But what I will tell you is this, man. We have a coaching program that is not me. We have all kinds of phenomenal coaches. And when you hit it off with a particular coach, stick close to them and build something of magnitude. If cash is tight for you right now, I don't believe it's not going to be tight for you in 6 months from now if you stay on the same track. So you're better off to try and figure out some kind of a plan with a coach that allows you at least to have some kind of a drum beat that's pointed in the right direction, even if it's every 2 weeks, even if it's once a month. Do something versus nothing at all. And, I say this often too. Every time you go and slap money on the credit card or you spend cash out at a restaurant or you do something that's extracurricular, that's all cool for the balance. But just know that we'll come back and we won't know what our bottom line is in our company if you keep doing that. You have to change it. It's a pivot spot. It's a breakout moment. Vibrations are high. It's a tough spot, but we're getting rich next year. Who wants to get rich next year in 2024, by the way? Who wants to make money? I know Rod Hilton's on here. He made money this year. Rod, you made money this year, buddy? Good to see you on, man. I missed you, bud. Come off mute, Rod. This is a great old friend of mine who I am so stoked to see on tonight, man. You had a busy season and you're coming on. I know it's the end of the season. How did things go? I haven't seen you in a dog's age.
Yeah, it's been it's our best year, out of the first 3. So we scaled the business about 125% than what it was last year. And we actually had to leave some money onto the table because we were just so booked up. And then, once you take all that work, and you really don't have the guys to do it. You don't want to turn it away. You put it on the books, you explain to the people that we might not be able to get to you, but they want you, so, but we left some money on the books, but we got them wrapped up for the first thing of 2024. And we're going to scale it even more next year, and we're going to take it and see what happens.
You break the million that you broke 7-figure this year?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, man. And I saw you just giving back again on social media, just rocking it. What did you just do? You did a big Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we just served about 1,300 homeless and some vets in there and kids and stuff like that. So, and then for Christmas, we're doing the same thing. And then, of course, we do the Easter baskets for the kids. But, that's one part of us, we give back. Just like what you do, you know what I mean? You give back your lighthouse. So we just got to keep it rolling like that. You know what I mean? I would just listen to what you was telling Tony over there, and that's so true. You know what I mean? That you can't stay where you're at. You always got to keep pushing forward.
Couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. You're rolling into year 5 this year as we roll into January 2024?
4.
Year 4. Yeah.
Yeah, year 4.
Yeah, man. You did a lot of paving. You did a lot of paving this year, or mostly maintenance?
No, we did probably about probably 75% maintenance, 25% paving. And then you know, it's just everything. I mean, once you're branded, I mean, really marketing is out the window because everybody knows you. You know what I mean? So once you're branded, I mean, that helps out so much. We was just so busy that we just really couldn't even keep up. And it's hard to find good guys out, you know, to work and be committed. You know what I mean? So, but we've got, you know what I mean? We've got 11 guys now. So we could start off 2024 with 11, and, you know, I could actually hire probably another 8 or 9 at least.
Yeah. Eric, you're smiling. I can see you. Cool. Rod, I'm stoked. Eric, you ready to crush this thing? By the way, Eric, I want to give him a round of applause. By the way, Eric's a customer who just invested into the digital presence package with our company, and we're gonna blow his marketing up out of the universe, man. I'm super excited to do this thing. But congratulations, man. Round of applause, Eric. Let's go. Gonna crush this thing.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
You ready?
Yeah, man. I'm pumped. I am. It's hard to hold back the excitement in my job currently. So if they only knew what I know.
So let me tell you just a little secret here. Okay. So, and Eric, I'm going to spill the beans a little bit. And you can slap me on the hand later, but here's the thing that's really, really cool. Eric came in and had a conversation, came in on a previous roundtable as well. And started you were communicating with Spencer a couple times, right, Eric? A couple times.
Yep.
And then with his dad, and I had the meeting with Eric and his dad, Dean. And Eric came back and sent me a spreadsheet that he had drafted, like a full SWOT cost analysis of what it was going to be to invest into the business and how long it would take to make his money back and repayment and all that stuff. And he dug in and actually built this really impressive spreadsheet. And I will tell you this, team, in 21 years of owning Asphalt Kingdom, starting it from the ground up and helping thousands of people all over the world build businesses, it was the very first time somebody did that. And I will tell you, Eric is not a gazelle. Eric will build a company, mark my words today, he will absolutely build a company of extreme magnitude, extreme value, because he's doing what needs to get done to sharpen his spear and go out there and really make this win. How old are you, Eric?
31.
31 years old. You know, you see, like Rod Hilton, and I know last year he was already crossing into the big numbers, but like when you focus relentlessly on something, when you stay wholly committed, disciplined, determined, and you're going into that I call it the upper echelon, that next level where the things that you do it with precision to master it. You practice it relentlessly. You become extremely successful. Extremely. But I'll tell you something. It's really, really, really hard. And it's really, really tiring. It's really hard. But the opposite of that would be even harder. Like that would be harder, is to grow old one day and wish that you did it now. And so to wrap up tonight's call, I want you to all reflect on that a little bit. What are we doing today to better ourselves, to become the best version of ourselves, to sharpen our spears, and to go next level? Because I don't care where you are on your journey, whether you're Rod Hilton, who's growing the heck out of his company, he's still dealing with challenges just like everybody else is. No matter where you are in the journey, there's adversity. But what are we doing to become better at what it is that we do right now? You guys have all been granted access to the AK vault. It's free to you guys. If you're not in the vault and studying it and you're not applying it, you're doing yourself a disservice with your business, straight up. There's a lot of good meat in there. Get in there, have some fun and apply it. I believe in every single person on here. I spend my time here every single Wednesday. I go an hour and 15 minutes with you all because I believe wholly and wholeheartedly in each and every one of you. The question is, how much do you believe in yourself and are you willing to go that extra mile? Really appreciate everybody coming on tonight. Hope you got some good golden nugget takeaways. Everybody got some good takeaways tonight? Cool. We're going to do a one-word close as we go around the board here, and then we're going to check out. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's do this thing. Victor, you are first. One-word close, brother. Come off mute. Be ready, everyone, to come off mute and give your one-word close.
Dude, I'm working it.
Cool. Chad.
Super pumped for 2024.
Let's go. Billy.
Discipline.
Nice. Anthony. Anthony.
Balance.
Stephanie.
Committed.
John.
Coaching.
Coaching is what you said?
Yeah.
I love that, man. Skylar.
Refreshed.
Zach. You're muted.
Attack.
Nice, man. I see you laser focused, by the way. Congrats, man. It's awesome.
Also with you again too, Zach. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Eric.
Pilot.
Hector Valeris.
Hopeful.
Matt Phillips. Good to see you, man.
Black gold.
Let's go, baby. Let's do it. Nick.
Pumped.
Pumped. Let's go. Mr. Hilton. And again, so good to see you on, man. I appreciate you taking the time in your schedule to be here. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Good seeing you and everyone else. Aggressive.
Jake. You're muted.
Drive.
Nice. Love it. Tony.
KPIs, precision, pretty much.
Let's go. Let's go. 13-week race. Remember that, Tony. That's for an upcoming coaching session in the future. 13-week race. We'll teach you how to do that. John.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. I love it. They will grow. Those steps are gonna continue to grow. I love it, man. Looking forward to working with you, John. Ready to party? You ready to have some fun, man? We're gonna do something really cool over the next 4 weeks, bud.
I'm looking forward.
Beautiful. Cool. For anybody else who is not on video, I'm the last one on video here. So my one-word close is consistency is my one-word close. Consistency. For all of you that are coming down to Anguilla over tomorrow and the next day, it's going to be fun. I cannot wait to spend time with you guys in person in my backyard right here. It's going to be a blast. We have a serious itinerary that's set up. So stay tuned for that. And I've got a couple surprises maybe. Cool. And then January 22nd, by the way, I hope everybody can make it. There's 22 people on the screen right now. I'm renting the coolest venue in Tampa Bay that's like 20 minutes away from the airport. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but the venue is awesome. It's historical, and we're going to be going through some pretty incredible things at the AK Roundup. So far, we have a total of, I believe there was 28 people signed up, and we just really kind of posted it recently. So we're going to hopefully get 100 people that will come down, and we'll make a really great event out of it. So great time to mingle, great time to connect with some like-minded people. And then we, of course, have a full itinerary for the day. It's going to be about 6 hours of value drops and workshops and really helping us scale a business. It goes way beyond the equipment and supplies team. Goes way beyond that. Cool. Well, I hope you can make it January 22nd. And if you have any questions on how to sign up, please do reach out to us at AK. You can call our toll-free number on the site, or you can feel free to contact us through social media, and we'll get you signed up and grab you a seat. We have 100 seats total. All right, everyone, have a great night. Looking forward to seeing you all. Not next week. I will not be on, but we will have somebody else that will be covering for us while I'm away. I believe I'm going to try to convince Alex Coring to do that. So I haven't told him that. Alex, are you cool to do next week, brother?
I'll try. Getting a tooth put in on Wednesday.
Maybe what we'll
oral
do is
surgery.
We'll get Matthias to do it.
My appointment's at 2 o'clock, so I might be okay by 4. We'll see.
You might come laughing to the meeting.
We'll
Cool. Everyone, have a great time. Go make those things happen out there, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place, right here on the AK Roundtable. Proud of everyone. Let's rock.